welcome back. In this session, we will be discussing about the concentration cells. So in the previous session, we have discussed about what are electrodes, what are the types of electrodes, that is reference electrodes, primary reference electrodes, secondary reference electrodes. In the primary reference electrode, we have discussed about the construction, working and uses and disadvantages of SHE, that is standard hydrogen electrode. Later, we have discussed about the secondary reference electrode, that is saturated caramel electrode, and we have find out the value of electrode potential as plus 0.2422 volts. This is what we have done in the previous session. In the current session, we will be discussing about concentration cells. What are concentration cells? The name itself indicates that a cell in which there is no net chemical change. There should be no final chemical change. That type of cells are called as concentration cells. This is the important point. A cell in which there is no chemical change. Alright, without chemical change, how can we get the current? That is what we are going to discuss now. This is a very important and new concept introduced to you, so you should be following carefully, and if you have any doubts, you can put forward. So a cell in which there is no net chemical change in the cell. There should be no net chemical change, but still you should get the current. That is what we plan. We will not come to classes regularly, we will not study at home, but still we want the marks. Otherwise we will have to pass. Is it possible? In real life it is not possible, but in chemistry it is possible. So how it is possible, we will look here. So this electrical energy, generally what happens, how are we getting this current? Current comes by the transfer of electrons from a high concentration to low concentration. Current means it's a flow of electrons. How does the electrons flow from high concentration to low concentration? That is clear. Now, this is only the main concept behind this. That is the basic principle of flow of current. We are using this basic principle, and we will now create a difference. How it is, see here. The concentration cells generally, what is concentration cell? A cell in which there is no net chemical change is called as a concentration cell. Very nice, very good. There are two types of concentration cells. First is called as electrode concentration cell. Electrode concentration cell. The second one is called as electrolyte concentration cell. Two types of concentration cells. Very, very important. Just to keep watching, and if you have any doubt, again rewind and listen carefully. There are two types of concentration cells. Electrode concentration cells and electrolyte concentration cells. First one we will discuss now. What is electrode concentration cell? So electrode concentration cell. So here it is two same like electrodes. Like electrodes means we will be taking two same electrodes. So for example, we will take two SHE, same electrodes. Yet different concentration. This is important. The name itself says concentration cells. So we are taking two same type of electrodes and we are going to keep them in at different concentrations dipped in the same electrolyte solution. That type of concentration cells are called as electrode concentration cells. So we will take two SHE, two hydrogen electrodes, and we will be changing the gas pressures. So I told you previously that hydrogen gas should be pumped at around 1 atmosphere pressure. Now we will change the pressures. If I change the pressure, what happens? I told you previously. What are the disadvantages of SHE? In that we have discussed that if excess amount of hydrogen is passed, the concentration of the H plus ion changes. Now we are utilizing this one to produce current. Clear? So now we will use this one and we will see the first one, electrode concentration cell. This is the example of electrode concentration cell. So first one, electrode concentration cell. So here look carefully, one acting as cathode, the second one is the anode. So which one is left one is always anode. So this is anode and this will be cathode. Now see the difference. All is same. Here see here 1m HCl, here also 1m HCl. Here platinum electrode, here platinum electrode. The only difference is here hydrogen gas at P1 pressure. Pressure is P1. Here hydrogen gas at P2 pressure. P2 atmosphere. So now I am going to represent this cell here. See here PT H2 at P1 pressure. Electrode with dipped in HCl solution. What is the concentration? Here it is 1m HCl. Here also it is 1m HCl. So 1m HCl is connected with a salt bridge. So this is a salt bridge. So salt bridge should be represented with a double line. Salt bridge. Again here we have dipped in HCl in 1m concentration. And hydrogen at pressure is different. Here the pressure is P2. Here the pressure is P1. Hope you understand and get the point. We are using the same electrodes. We are changing the pressures. So the electrode, we are not changing the electrolyte. What is the electrolyte here? HCl. Are we disturbing HCl? No. HCl is 1 molar here. Here also same 1 molar concentration. We are not disturbing the HCl solution. Electrolyte solution we are not disturbing. We are only changing the concentration of the electrode by changing the pressure of hydrogen gas. H2 gas at P1 atmosphere and here H2 gas at P2 atmosphere pressure. Now what happens, see here, anode P1 value, cathode P2 value, that's what I said. Left hand side P1, anode. So the reaction is H2P2, H2P1 gives rise to 2H plus 2 electrons. And here at cathode, 2H plus 2 electrons gives rise to H2P2. So final equation is always a balance between these two. H2P1 equilibrium with H2P2. That's all. Now calculate the EMF of the cell. EMF of the cell is E0 minus 0.0591, Nernst equation, into log of P2 by 1. And here it will be P1 by 1. Why P2? EMF of the cell is given as E cell is equal to E cathode minus E anode. E is equal to EMF of the cell is equal to E cathode or E RHS minus E LHS. So you look here, left hand side P1, right hand side P2. So I have written this like this. So RHS P2, LHS P1. Remaining formula is same. So now take out the E0 value cancel. So we will take out the thing log of log P1 minus log P2. So log P1 minus log P2 you can write as log P1 by P2. So here n value is 2 because we are using 2 electrons. You can look here. So here how many electrons we are using? 2 electrons. So number of electrons will be 2 electrons. N value is the number of electrons. So 0.0591 by 2 into log of P1 by P2. This is the EMF of the cell. It implies we are not changing any cell. We are not changing any cell. We are using the same cell. But we are getting the current. How? By applying the pressure, changing the pressure. So even without coming to the college, you can get good marks. How? By attending the online classes. The same is the case here. The class is same, the teacher is same, but the different students are getting different marks. That is the reason we are able to produce current even from the same electrodes. This is also standard hydrogen electrode. This is also hydrogen electrode. 2 electrodes we have taken, but I have simply changed only the pressure at the electrode, P1 in anode and P2 at cathode. That resulted in an EMF of 0.0591 by 2 into log of P1 by P2. This is the EMF of the cell. Clear? So generally we take it as if it is E cell is equal to, final answer is this one, by 2 means 0.02955 into log of P1 by P2. That's all. Now question is, the process should be spontaneous. Spontaneous means it should occur on its own. Then only we will get good current. So it is possible when P2 is less than P1. If P2 is less than P1, then the process is spontaneous. So what is meant by P2 less than P1? Here on the anode side we have to apply high pressure. Cathode side it should be low pressure. That's all. Then the reaction is spontaneous. Automatically current starts flowing from cathode to anode to cathode, and electrons starts flowing from anode to cathode, and current flows from cathode to anode. So this is the condition I have written here. The pressure P2 at the other electrode, that is P2 greater than P1. Clear? For spontaneous reaction, the condition required is P2 less than P1. This is called as electrode concentration cell. You should remember the importance of this point. Electrode concentration cell. We are changing the electrode. We don't go for electrolyte. We did not change HCl. We have changed only the electrode pressure. Now the second type, remember the second type, that is called electrolyte concentration cell. Now by this time you should be able to understand that we are going to change what? The concentration of the electrolyte. Electrolyte is the liquid, right? So we will see the electrolyte concentration cells. So here what is doing? A concentration cell is an electrolytic cell that is comprised of two half cells with the same electrodes. Same thing until here, but differing in concentration. Change the electrolyte here. Clear? We are using the same thing but different concentration. The concentration is, one of these concentrations will be less, the other one will be more. Then what happens and how we are going to this? So we are going to achieving this by transferring the electrons from the cell with the low concentration to the cell with the high concentration. So current flows from low concentration to high concentration. If both the concentrations are equal, what happens? There will be no current. Clear? So these two cells consist of identical electrodes are dipped in the electrolyte solutions of two different concentrations. This is what we should remember. If the concentrations of the electrolyte or electrolyte concentration is changed, such type of concentration cells are called as electrolyte concentration cells. So I shall show you a diagram, you will understand the thing. So see this, for example, I have taken silver here. So here the concentration of the silver is C1M, molar solution. Here I put as C2 and C2 greater than C1. This is C2 molar Ag solution. Silver rod dipped in silver nitrate solution. Here also silver rod dipped in silver nitrate solution. Did I change can I change the concentration of silver rod? No, silver rod always contains silver atoms. Now what am I changing? I am changing the solution here. I put the concentration as C1, here it is C2, and C2 greater than C1 means this left hand side is always anode. You should remember this point. This is anode and this is cathode. By simple example you can remember easily. So this is the swimming pool. Atoms are going to swim. If the number of people in this swimming pool is only 2 or 3, it is easy for us to go for swimming. The same condition now we will look here. This is also the same swimming pool. Here also 10 people are waiting here. But already there are 10 people inside this. Now what happens? Are you going to jump into this? No. That is the reason we have changed the concentration here. Concentration cell. You can understand the name here, right? So here only, since there are only few people, that is 2 or 3 people are there, so we will be jumping into it and enjoying here. While jumping, we will give these electrons. These electrons flows from here to here. Meanwhile, there are here 10 to 12 people are already there in the swimming pool. These people come out by taking these electrons. That's all. So this is what you should understand, and here this is the salt bridge. You will remember every time the word salt bridge. I have been talking since the beginning of this chapter. The salt bridge is the connection between these two. The salt bridge will be using this ammonium nitrate solution, because we have taken silver nitrate solution here, we will take ammonium nitrate. Now we will have to discuss this as like this. So how can we represent this? How can we represent this? M means metal. What is the metal here? Silver. Ag. Ag plus ka marutundi. So it will change to Ag plus. What is the concentration? C1 concentration. Double slash means salt bridge. Double lines. And Ag plus. What is the concentration of Ag plus here? C2. M. Here also C1. M means molar concentration. What is the metal we are using here also? Silver. This is the cell representation for this concentration cell. Right? So now we will write the thing what we have discussed till now into a paragraph type. So we will see the points. So we are taking the example of Ag plus. This is what I have written there. If you observe here clearly, this is what I have written here. C1, C2, M. So C1 and C2 are different concentrations, and importantly you should remember C2 greater than C1. If it is reverse, if C2 is less than C1, then the current flows in the opposite direction. Clear? Right. So at anode, what happens? Metal loses the electrons and it forms metal ion C1. At cathode, that is on the RHS side, metal ions accept the electrons and come out of the solution. Clear? That is the reduction. This is the oxidation. Overall reaction, see here, the metals metal cancel, only the concentration changes. Now we will calculate the EMF of the cell. E cell is equal to RHS minus ELHS, or E right minus E left. So see here, this is the RHS, right, and this is the left. So left, what is the concentration? C2. Right, what is the concentration? C1. So remember that, and now we will see here. So right 1 by C2, left 1 by C1. Correct. Now we will be simplifying this equation. Finally, we will get the answer as E cell is equal to 0.0591 by N into log of C2 by C1. This is the final EMF of the cell. We did not change the metal. You should remember the important point here. Why are we emphasizing on concentration cell? We are not changing the metal. We are not changing anything. We are using the same type of metals and same type of solutions. But still, we are able to produce the current by just changing the concentration. Here we are changing the concentration of the electrolyte. So we call it as electrolyte concentration cell. This is what I have written here as electrolyte concentration cell. So electrolyte concentration cell, we are changing the concentration of the electrolyte. Now the question is, if C1 is equal to CO, C1 is equal to C2, what happens? C1 is equal to C2 means log 1 means 0. So E cell is equal to 0. So there is no, the cell is at equilibrium. Now I want current. Then what should I do? C2 greater than C1, then EMF of the cell will be positive. That is, the reaction is spontaneous in nature. So what is this C1 and C2? You should remember here. I told you this one. So RHS, you have to have high concentration solution. So for example, you take 2 molar solution of a silver here. Here we will be taking 1 molar solution of silver. Until the concentration of silver ions will be equal, this continuously flows the electrons. So we are using the same solution. Just we are changing the concentration of the electrolyte. We did not touch the electrode. Clear? So this is called electrolyte concentration cell. This continuously flows the electrons. So this is all about concentration cells. Now next concept we will go for the glass electrode. So what is this glass electrode? Glass electrode. So this is our glass electrode. So this is what we use in our laboratory also. In the pH meter, we will be using the glass electrode. While doing the experiment also, I was saying you should be very careful with the tip of this glass electrode. Tip of the glass electrode is highly sensitive. So you should not touch the tip of the electrode with your hands also. Highly costly. So that's what we were saying, right? So this is the tip bulb. So we will see this. What is this glass electrode and what happens at the tip here? This is the tip here. So this is the glass. So this is the glass. Inside we have something and outside we have something. What happening there? We will see here. See here. See the construction of this electrode. So this is the sensitive, pH sensitive glass membrane is there. The glass here is pH sensitive. So inside that we will have the AgCl electrode here. Liquid junction we have this. We will be dipping it into the solution. We will be dipping this into this one. You can look here clearly. The electrode here, platinum wire or silver wire, whatever may be the case, the wire will be touching up to here. Right? It will be detecting the pH. So the glass electrode is made of a special glass. This is a special glass having relatively low melting point and high conductivity. So generally glass do not conduct current, but this glass, what we are using in the glass electrode, it conducts current. So generally we are using a Corning glass. Generally we use the Corning glass, right? So it contains this one. So now we will go for how we are going to do this. So what happens? We have kept in the outer side we have some pH, so we have to find out the solution pH. So we have taken a beaker. In this we have dipped the glass electrode like this. So here we have some solution. So there are some ions. So for example, I am going to find out what is the pH of this solution. What is the pH of this HCl solution? For example, I have taken HCl solution. So what happens at the junction of this glass with the solution? Inside there are fixed H+ ions inside on the platinum electrode, but outside, depending upon the number of ions present, there will be a junction between these two. Here the EMF will be E1, here it will be E2, and now at each membrane solvent interface there is some local potential. This is called the local potential. This is here, this is our inside, this is outside. So here it is, a local potential develops due to the preference of adsorption of H+ ions on the glass surface. So these H+ ions they try to adsorb. Why to adsorb? Here inside what is there? Minus charge is there. So they prefer to adsorb there. So this wall you need not write, but I am just explaining just to have a clear understanding about the glass electrode. So this is the glass surface contains this one silica O-. This is the minus charge here, outside and inside. So now what should we write means this is what we have to write here. So for understanding purpose, I have shown you this diagram in detail, the cross section of this glass electrode and what is the glass surface made up of, what is that, why you are writing a minus ions here and why are these plus ions changing. Depending upon the pH, if the number of plus ions will be more, the pH will be less, that's all. So what is a glass electrode? It contains a very thin glass bulb and is pH responsive glass. That is what I told, Corning glass, right? The second one is the glass membrane is attached to a piece of thick high resistance glass. So this diagram you can understand very clearly. Here it is. So this is the glass membrane. This is attached to a very long tube, right? This is also glass tube. So you can see here, this is the glass tube. The glass tube contains hard resistant glass. So that even if you touch with your hands, it is not going to break. But if you touch this tip at your bare hands and apply a little amount of pressure, also it is highly sensitive and it may be broken. So first point I said that this is made up of very important type of glass membrane which is pH sensitive, and to this is attached to a hard glass. and inside that there is an electrode here running here. Very clearly you can see the red line what I have drawn here. So the same thing I have written in the words here. A thick glass membrane serves as the solid electrode whose potential changes with pH of the solution. If the potential changes, pH changes, immediately potential changes. Potential changes means immediately for a good electrical contact bulb, it contains, we generally use the silver nitrate chloride solution. So here it is, silver chloride solution. Here AgCl electrode. We generally use this. This is also the same thing. Look here, it is in silver color. Silver chloride solution is there inside. And what happens? Instead of drawing all these big diagrams, you draw the small diagram like this. This is a thin walled glass bulb. This is the platinum wire or silver chloride coated with silver wire. Right? So draw this one. This is very simple. And this is the glass electrode. That's all. So we have AgCl electrode. A platinum wire may be used in place of AgCl. So if you don't remember AgCl and all these things, you can remember it as simply as a platinum wire, because platinum serves as a strong electrode, right? So this is about the construction of glass electrode. Now we should know why should we use this glass electrode? What are the uses? The advantages of glass electrode. First one is it is rapid response. So immediately after dipping into a solution, immediately it gives the value, answer. So it is rapid response. And next, remains unaffected by presence of oxidizing or reducing agents. If there is any oxidizing agent in the solution, I have dipped it in a beaker containing some solution. Even if it has having some oxidizing agent or reducing agent also, it is not affected. This is the bulb. So it will show the answer. These are the two advantages. But what are the disadvantages? I was saying since the beginning, fragility. It is easily breakable. If you apply a little amount of pressure, even if it hits the breaker, it will break. Clear? Because the bulb is highly sensitive. This is what I told you, thin walled glass bulb, very thin walled. So this is highly sensitive. That is only one disadvantage. The second one is, if you dip this glass electrode into a very high concentrated alkali means base, immediately it loses its power. So that's what it's saying. It's inability in presence of high concentration of alkali. I want to see the pH of a freshly prepared sodium hydroxide of a high concentration, NMR high. So if you dip in that, immediately this glass electrode, because inside it we have HCl. I am saying 0.1 m HCl is there. Inside we have acid, outside we have a base. I said there is a thin membrane. Immediately what happens, OH minus attack start attacking this electrode, and electrode will be useless in the case of high alkali presence. So you should be very careful. These are the two important disadvantages, that's all. One is fragility. You should handle the glass electrode with care. Carefully handle. The second one is you cannot show the pH of very high concentration of alkali bases. For acids, no problem, because inside we have acid, outside also acid, so we will get a good pH, no problem. But for glass electrodes, no. Now I was saying you can see pH. So what is this pH and how can we do this? This is the pH meter. This is the glass electrode what I was talking till now. You should dip it in the solution. This is the beaker. In the beaker I have taken the solution, I have dipped the electrode, and it is connected to this one, and we show the pH here. This is the pH is showing. So we have the distilled water, 0.1 m HCl we have. I don't know the concentration of sodium hydroxide solution. You can find out. This is called as pH metric titration. In the pH metric titration, we will be using which electrode? Glass electrode. This is the important. So for standardization of pH meter, we generally use two important buffer solutions. So first is 4.0 and next 7.0 and 9.2 buffer. These two buffers, mainly we use 4.0 and 9.2 buffer solutions we use, and we standardize the pH meter and then we use the titration. So in the burette we will be taking the NaOH or HCl, HCl solution we take, and in the conical flask we will be taking a 20 ml of HCl solution, and we will be dipping here in the solution like this, and it will be continuously stirred. for getting uniform pH. The pH will be easily done. So this is how we use the pH meter for getting the pH meter titration. So this is what I am showing. So here directly we are adding the HCl solution into the solution here. This is, for example, if we are taking this NaOH solution. So we will take the NaOH solution here. This is NaOH solution. So this is our HCl solution. So it is stirring. Slowly it is stirring. So it is 3.97 pH, means this is only HCl, that is only NaOH. Clear? Because pH is 3.97 means can it be NaOH? No. So we can say it as HCl solution. So we will take it as a HCl solution. So this is our HCl solution and this is our NaOH solution. So 1 drop we will be adding 1 ml, 1 ml. For every 1 ml we will be plotting a graph. So NaOH is added into our HCl solution. This is NaOH is added into HCl solution. Slowly the pH value increases gradually up to a level and suddenly increases here. Suddenly increases up to here, right? Where there is a sudden increase in the graph, that is our end point, right? So later on also if you add 2 or 3 ml, the graph goes just slightly steep but not straight. So up to here gradual or slowly very slight increase in the concentration is observed. pH value is observed. But here drastically from pH around 1 or 2 it has increased to pH 12 or 11. So if you see here approximately around 11 and here it is around 2 or 1.2 something. So from 1.2 slowly it is increasing to up to here you will take as 4. Up to 4 it is increasing slowly. But later after adding 1 ml immediately it increases to 12 or 11. It implies that there has been the reaction has been concluded and here we have got our reading here 3.9 or something like that. Slowly use. This is called as pH metric titration. Here what are the x-axis and y-axis? In the y-axis we take the pH, in x-axis we will take the volume in ml. Volume of NaOH. How much amount of NaOH we are adding into this HCl. So slowly this is about the pH metric titration. I am not going to emphasize on pH metric titration, but you should remember that glass electrode is used here in the pH metric titration. That is the important use. You should understand the uses. Simply by understanding the construction and working of a glass electrode, it is not so useful. If once you understand the application point of view, it will be useful for you. In the lab, we will be doing this experiment using this same glass electrode. So you should be in a position to understand it very clearly, the fragility or importance, and also the advantages and disadvantages of this glass electrode. That is the reason why I put here the resistance. So now you want to determine the pH. Now how can you determine? What I was saying, everything I have written here only, the same thing. So for pH determination with a glass electrode, we will be dipping the electrode into the solution. Yes. Is it dipped or not? Yes, it is dipped. So the same only, we are going to dip the solution. Next what happens? Generally we use a reference electrode here, a caramel electrode, to form the complete cell, and we will be using this potential of the glass electrode as this one. You can write as this is ln, means natural logarithm, convert into log 2.303. So minus negative logarithm of H plus ions is called as pH of the solution. So I want to know the pH now. So E0 minus 0.059 into pH. This is what we are going to use. So this is glass electrode. This is the glass electrode. By using this equation and simplifying this, this is what I have written here. So how can you complete this? So I have taken the glass electrode here. I have put this into the solution. Unknown H plus ion concentration, I don't know. Here we put a potentiometer, right? I have put the potentiometer. Here we have put the saturated caramel electrode, and this is the salt bridge used. I have previously, when we were discussing the electrodes, we have discussed that here we are using the saturated caramel electrode. The saturated caramel electrode I have used here, and the unknown pH solution we have taken, glass electrode is dipped and the circuit is completed. Now once the circuit is completed, by observing the potentiometer, we can draw like the same thing, just like this only. We will get some graph, right? The same graph you will using by using the graph, you will get the answer. So till now, this is all about the electrochemistry part, or the electrochemical cells we call it as. What are the questions that can be asked in our unit? The first one is, what is electrochemical series? Give its uses. This is what I have been insisting till now. Second one is the electrodes, reference electrodes. Explain the construction and working of SHE. What is SHE? Standard hydrogen electrode. This question also can be asked. And describe the importance of calomel electrode. Calomel electrode, they will not ask you directly as saturated calomel electrode. Even though they don't ask, you should write all that as saturated calomel electrode only. This can also be asked. The fourth question is, write notes on concentration cells. Concentration cells, again, they will not ask you write note on electrode concentration cell or electrolyte concentration cell. You should write all both them, both of them, right? Fifth one is, what is glass electrode? This question is very tricky. They will ask only up to here, but you should understand this question also. Sketch its use for finding the pH of a solution. Sketch its use means you should not you will have to write this one, because we are using the glass electrode and a SCE. This is saturated calomel electrode. This one you should write. You should not go for this diagram, because we can't draw this diagram. Clear? We can't draw this diagram. That is the reason why I have shown you both. This is our lab part. In the lab we will be using this experimental part. But the procedure is the same thing. By plotting this we will be getting it. So you should be drawing this diagram. So these are the 5 important questions generally asked in our examinations point of view. So this is all about our first part, that is electrochemical cells. So and corrosion we have, and further in addition to this we have one more topic called as, in our next class we will be discussing about what are batteries and fuel cells. So with that we will be completing the first part of our electrochemical cells. In the latter part we will discuss about the corrosion. Thank you.